Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to pose like a model, and make sure you subscribe and keep watching to see all these tips that I have to share with you. Before we get into all these poses, the first thing you should know is that there are some rules that you should really keep in mind and keep as your foundation, because these will help you in the long run. Rule number 1, chin forward. Always show your neck, or at least try, because you do not want a double chin. Rule number 2, do not cross your arms, and if you do, always change the angle. Rule number 3, watch your posture. Always straighten up, because then you're gonna look like Mr. Slouchy. You don't want that. Rule number 4, always change the angle. Never stay in one place, guys. Always use your surrounding. Be very creative. Rule number 5, try to turn your torso. Don't just stand straight, because if you turn your torso, then you will create angles, and different angles make you look different. With that being said, that goes to rule number 6. Pay attention to your arms. Use space. Be very creative with this, guys. It takes practice. And this goes to rule number 7. You want to create visual lines. Think of angles, triangles. Make sure your arms are away from your body. Rule number 8, avoid baggy clothes. It's not gonna compliment you or show your curves. But if you do, put your hands on your hips, so that way it shows your curves a little better. Rule number 9, imitate touching, which is touch but not really touching. So just be very gentle with your fingers. Don't show fists. Rule number 10, emphasize your face. When your hands are on your face, you always want to be very gentle with it. Remember, touch but don't touch. Rule number 11, don't show your elbows. When your elbows are towards the camera, they look very ugly, so you always want your elbows away from the camera. And the last rule, rule number 12, don't limit yourself. Use your surrounding. Think of posing like you're dancing. At least that's what helped me, because when you pose like you're dancing, you just start moving, and there's no limit to how you move. Be creative, be you. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is different poses for different industries. So this is like the fun part where you get to know what poses can you do for different scenarios, whether it's high fashion, editorial, catalog, fitness, lifestyle. You need to know the different poses for those industries. So I'm going to teach you guys what that is. So the first thing you guys need to know about is something called action posing and reaction posing. What is action posing? Action posing is posing done in movement. So think of fashion editorial concepts, think of fitness modeling, even lifestyle modeling could apply to that. So it would look anything from just moving, guys, like jumping, flipping hair, that's what I like doing. I think of dancing. I'm literally just moving, because I know when I dance, that's what helps me pose. And then also for like fitness, of course, anything like running, jumping, whatever, squats, those kind of things. Even if you look at those like high fashion magazines, you always see like somebody with a purse, like they're moving, a lot of walking. Another thing for reaction posing, think of a reaction of something, whether it's like surprise, or think of like, oh, crazy, angry, fierce, you know, and then happy, the ha ha ha, the fake laugh. Those could be used for commercial modeling. I know in commercial modeling, you smile a lot, you laugh. Those are very important to know, because once you know those things, you know which industry to apply. So one of the most important things that I want to talk about is the things to do for high fashion modeling. In high fashion modeling, you always want to be symmetrical. So Being symmetrical, creating lines, triangles, think of triangles. Another thing is, remember, touch, but don't touch. So when you want to touch your face, don't use fists, but be touch, but not really touch. You want to be very elegant with your hands. Another thing you need to remember is casual posing. That could be used for like catalog. Casual posing is when you look casual to just be your candid self. So it could be anything from posture like this, that, thinking. It could be anything, putting your hands in your pocket and just like not really slouching, but just being like casual with it, like you're looking somewhere else, hand in hair, just being very casual. It takes practice, guys. And then another thing is called sweet posing, which is just poses that look very ladylike. So something like that, something like that, like that, like that. And then there's something called S posing. S posing, that's another go-to. You always want to look like an S. So hip on one side, hip on another side. You can do a lot of things with your arms. It really helps to know these poses. S posing helps a lot depending on your outfits to show off your curves. But you always want to change angles. And another thing to also keep in mind when it comes to fashion editorials is that you always want to take up all four corners of the frame, because that's just one of the rules that I learned. It just looks much exaggerated. The more exaggerated your pose, the more crazier it is, the better it looks. That's just how it works in fashion editorials, high fashion things, because everything's exaggerated, but it just looks really cool. So don't be limited, don't be scared. Step out of your comfort zone and just be crazy with it, because I be coming up with some crazy things and it looks really cool. Now the last thing that you need to know are expressions. Expressions are very important when you're posing, because if you have like this amazing pose but like a really plain face, or you look constipated or mad, like it really ruins the picture. So I know like expressions, you need to think of like acting. Like you really have to tap into your emotions, and those emotions really make up the picture and tell a story. So some of the emotions or expressions that you need to know are: this is your model face. We call it the fierce face. Then the next one is called smizing, which is basically smiling with your eyes. You will definitely feel it where your cheekbones are. But yeah, try practicing being serious or just being your normal face and then going to the smiling with your eyes. Then the next one is called the sultry eyes. Basically, you want to have some really capturing, seductive eyes, mesmerizing eyes. The next one is the blink face. Basically, you don't have no expression on your face. It's just literally blink. So think of nothing and just stare off into space. The next expression is innocent face. So you're just supposed to look innocent, like you don't know what's going on, but really cute. The next one is called the angry stare. I like using that for just being fierce or just really exaggerating my poses. Being angry sometimes look cool, guys. Try it. And the next one, you can make silly faces. Those are really fun. Just being really cute, flirty, fun, crazy, happy-go-lucky, silly. So those are the 7 expressions that you should know. And like I said, it takes a lot of practice. What I do is I look in the mirror and I just focus on making the face until I get it right, because you won't get it right the first time. What I do is I look at a lot of images with different expressions. I go on Instagram, I make like a little mood board and I save pictures of different expressions that I like seeing. And then I practice in the mirror, and then what I do is I look away from the mirror and I try to do the same expression, and I look at the mirror to make sure that I get it right, because when you look away from the mirror and you do the expression, you can feel your face muscles, and once you know that you're getting it right, you know how your face muscles are supposed to feel in order that you know you got it right. So like especially with like smiling with your eyes, I know that I feel muscles up here near my eyes, like all of this comes up my mouth doesn't come up, but I know that these muscles right here come up and I know that I'm doing it right. Because like when you're shooting, you're not gonna have a mirror with you. So you need to know what you look like. So practicing away from the mirror and then looking at the mirror to make sure that you got it right really helps. Another thing to really tap into your emotions, what I learned is that you gotta do the A-E-I-O-U vowels. But with each A-E-I-O-U, you make a different expression. For example, A-E-I-O-U. Get it? And then you just practice and have fun with it. Like A-E-I-O-U. And now you do different poses. A-E-I-O-U. So guys, have fun, practice in the mirror, do research, look at a lot of different models, their expressions, practice it, have fun. I hope you guys learned a lot. Make sure you comment if you have any questions and just let me know your thoughts. If you guys liked this video, found it helpful, share, like, or to subscribe. Bye guys.